Hello, my stamping friends. This is Renee Novak at blessedbycards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I'm coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Today, I am here to share with you this super fun, super easy fun fold card. And so what I'm going to share with you are all the supplies that you're going to need to create this. So I made a template using other designer series paper that doesn't really match, but it's still just a template that can show you all the pieces that you're going to need. So let's get started with those supplies. So the supply you're going to need, I'm just going to bring in my little cheat sheet here, my little template. And the supplies you're going to need are a solid card base. It doesn't matter what color, as long as it kind of coordinates with your designer series paper, and that's going to measure 4 by 5 1/4. And then your main focal point of your paper is going to be measure 5 1/4 by 5 3/4. And along the 5 3/4 inch side, you're going to want to score that at 1 3/4. And that's going to fold over and adhere to your card base, and that's going to create your first part of your fun fold. Now you'll just have to ignore my template here with my old designer series paper just for you to see, and then I'll show you the card. Okay, so then you're going to need a piece that measures a solid cardstock that measures 4 by 5 1/4, and you're going to score that at 2 3/4. Now, if you're using a colored cardstock, this is white for my base is white, so I did not need an inside. But if you have a different color, you're going to need an inside of either vanilla or white, and that's going to measure 2 1/2 by 3 3/4, and that will go right on top of here so that you can write your sentiment. And so then simply another piece of DSP, 2 1/2 by 3 3/4, and you're just going to layer this card up just like that so that this part folds back and this part folds for a fun fold card. So let's put the one together that I have pre-cut for us. So here's our 5 1/4 by 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. Here's our 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then here's that piece of solid that measures 4 by 5 1/2, scored at 2 3/4, and here's my center piece for the white where I'm going to write my sentiment, and my large piece that measures 5 3/4 by 5 1/4, and in the longest side scored at 1 3/4. Okay, so you're simply just going to add that piece of designer series paper that you just folded, and that's going to go right on your card base. Now this is the true blue designer series paper that was a product of the month in December. As far as I know, it's still available. If you did not get it and you want to purchase $75 worth of stuff, you can purchase this paper pack for $5. And that was the December one. Okay, so that's how that flap goes. That's our first. So then we're going to take that piece that measured 4 by 5 1/2, scored at 2 3/4, and that's going to be our next piece that goes down here. But to the inside of that, I'm going to adhere my white piece. And this is where you'll either do your stamping or put a sentiment or wherever you'll write. And so that's going to go right on there. And then this piece will get some glue on it, and it will go right down. You'll just have to kind of line it up to where you want it to be. And then just stick that down. And then your last piece, it depends on what side you want. I'm going to go with this side. And I'm just going to put a little adhesive on there. And that's how super simple this fun fold card comes together. So that is how super fun. Now let me show you one that I created with just a little bit of variation. Okay, so this one I started with just a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 Night of Navy, and then again this is the true blue florals. But for this one, on that piece right here on the outside, I decided to cut it on the diagonal. So I just put it in my paper cutter and cut it on the diagonal. And then I just fussy cut some of the flowers from that designer series paper to match. And then on the inside, you can stamp whatever greeting, if you want a little flower down there, or if you just want to write something. I'm sure there's a little bit of room here. If you had a small thinking of you or a thank you stamp, it could go either way. So that is how super fun and easy that fun fold card is. So that's all I have for our weekly Wednesday. Thanks for watching. Join me next week for a Make It Monday and a weekly Wednesday video. And until then, be blessed.